Yeah, hello? Hey, Captain. What's going on? No, I'm out by the breakwater right now. You over by the turnaround point? Yeah, I'm almost coming to that. Hold on a second. Holy mackerel, yeah, I can see you. What are you doing over there? What are you... Oh, and you grabbed the bell, too. Okay. So, your boat is missing? Seriously? Hold on a second. Let me get out of the vehicle and we'll see if we can figure out what's going on. And what is that you're standing on? I lost you. Where are you? There you are. Oh, you picked up something as a consolation prize for Mary Kline? Well, that was really thoughtful. That's super cool. Yeah, well, once we figure things out, I'll get you into the car. I know you're a tough pirate slash steamboat captain, but it's cold out there today. I think it's only about 40 degrees. So yeah, let's figure things out and see if we can get you in a warmer spot. Hold on. I'm just curious how you even got out here. This is crazy. So you picked up a special machine because there weren't enough participants in the contest. So you picked up a special machine for Mary Kline. That was so cool. So we'll see if we can check that out pretty quick, because I think that'll be really neat. That'll be really, really neat. Let me just set the camera down for just a second so I can figure out what's going on here. This is so weird. Yeah, and I can ring the bell too. Signify the beginning of class. So you said what brought you out here originally is your boat is missing. The boat that you've been using for quite some time. When I got into the workshop this morning, I did not find Herr Obermeister and Mr. Bean. So I'm not sure what's going on with them. But I just heard something too. I don't know what that was. It's so weird. Yeah. Wait a second. What is that? Mr. Bean, Herr Obermeister, what are you guys doing? Come on back in. It's too cold out there. I think that's that's the captain's boat. That's not yours. You guys are nuts. I found your boat, Captain. Seriously, guys? You guys took the captain's boat? What is that about? He's pretty upset. I'm looking at him right here. Oh yeah, he's ticked. He's ticked off completely. Well, you guys have to bring it back eventually. You can't keep joyriding. And that's a pirate flag, isn't it? You guys aren't pirates. You guys are definitely not pirates. Come on. You guys are getting some pretty good speed there. That's kind of cool. You guys don't want to go out in the breakwater though. That's dangerous out there. Seriously, you guys, come on back. And you were a part of this too, Harold Burmeister? Seriously? You guys are gonna... Whoa, you just crashed the captain's boat. Reverse. Hey guys, we got a new machine we're gonna look at. The captain picked it up for Mary Kline. All right, you guys, park it, come on. I'll see if I can get you. Hold on. I don't want to fall in the water either, though. Oh boy. You guys really picked a spot here. And the rocks are wet too. And slippery. And partially frozen. What are you guys thinking? Seriously. Hey, Obermeister, you should know better. Really? Come on, guys. All right, let me see if I can get to a safe spot again. Hold on. Well, we got you guys out of the water anyway. Holy mackerel. Yeah, I see they have your flag. I see they have your flag, Captain. All right, let me get these guys into the car, and then we'll go ahead and get that machine out of the cold, and we'll take a look and see what you picked out for Mary Kline, okay? All right, come on, you guys. Guys were buzzing around out in the open water. Are they out of their minds? I think they are out of their minds. All right, let's grab all this stuff. Yeah, that may not fit after all. All right, I have to grab one more thing. Boy, that's a lot warmer. All right. We are finally in. We're finally back in the car, thank goodness. All right, so you want to be pirate sailor guys, what's going on with that? Mr. Bean talked you into it? I don't know about that. But at any rate, you guys shouldn't have taken the captain's boat. That's just not the way we do things, right? He's worked really hard to get that boat, and you guys just went ahead and scooped it up and started buzzing around in the breakwater area. So, yeah, I see you guys got yourselves tied off, but you could have fallen in. Did you think about that? And I wouldn't want to have to jump into the water to come and get you, for goodness sakes. It's freezing out there. It's absolutely freezing. All right, well, let's see what the captain came up with. This should be interesting. Oh, this is cool. This is very cool. Hold on a second. Let me set the camera down again, and I'll see if I can get this up into the window so we can all look at it together. Take this lid off first, because otherwise it's going to be too tall. I think I got it balanced. I hope I have it balanced. So this is what the captain came up with as far as a consolation prize for Mary Kline, because she wrote a really cool piece. Just have to get this cord out of the way too. She wrote a real cool piece for this last contest that was based in Sweden and based in Norway. And it looks like the captain came up with a Betsy Ross made in the USA. This is from the 1950s. And it's a cast aluminum. A lot of people will try to say that it's cast iron, but it's not. It's cast aluminum. And it came in a hand crank, and it came in this electric model that the captain found. Good job, Captain. I really like this. It's really, really cool. It's very, very cool. I kind of like the chiseled look of it too. And we can only see so much of it, obviously, when we got it up in the window here. But I think you really picked out a really nice model. And this is not a lock stitch machine. This is a chain stitch machine. You can we kind of go underneath here. You can kind of see the mechanism a little bit in how it works. It draws that thread down with the needle sweeps down in the downstroke, and then it spins and it creates a catacomb type weave instead of a traditional lock stitch. So there's only a single thread. There's a single thread off the top that comes from the spool that we have off right now, because the window isn't clear of the machine if we try to put that on. And then it goes through, let me come out on this shot. It goes through this thread guide, and then it goes through another little thread guide right here. Kind of creates a little bit of tension, goes up through the upper tension, and then through this thread guide, and then eventually across the faceplate, and then down through the needle. And this does take a specialized needle as well. So you're not going to be able to use a standard Schmetz type needle on this. But it's a beautiful, beautiful machine from the 1950s. Really is spectacular. I just have to see if I can rotate that needle up a little bit. I wanted you to be able to see the plate. Plate is also spectacular in this machine as well. And these are some of the stitches. It hasn't gone through a process yet, but you can see on the back side it creates this catacomb type stitch, and you have to lock off the ends, otherwise it could unravel. And then on top it generates just a standard type stitch, real teeny tiny. I'll zoom in on it a little bit, but you can see some of the stitching there that it generates. So on top, that's what you get, and then on the bottom, well, hopefully you don't get that. That's before the tension was adjusted, but you're going to get something more like these. And these still need to be refined as well, but they're really cool. And you remember recently, whoops, almost took it out. You remember recently, I gave a Singer version of a toy machine similar to this away that went out to, I knocked this spool of thread down, that went out to my friend out in Virginia. And she was amazed how strong the stitch was, in fact, when she did some practice stitching with that machine. So yeah, I mean, it's just, and for a tiny little machine, the harp space is really quite spacious for a machine like this. You know, from needle to pillar, you're probably looking at 3.5 to 4 inches. The height is probably about 3 inches. And the overall bed space is pretty decent as well. And you could take the bed off as well. There's 2 little screws that hold it on. And there is no foot controller with this. You basically push this button right there. You push that button and it engages the motor. And when you want to stop sewing, you push the button again. So, I mean, bare basics. And back in the 50s when this was first introduced, this Betsy Ross, it was selling for right around $22, $23. And they certainly probably had sales on it as well that made it even more affordable to people back in the 50s. But, you know, there's some debate there's a couple debate issues with regard to this machine. Debate issue number one is, and it's easily answered, is it cast iron or is it cast aluminum? You just have to put a magnet on it to see that it has no magnetic properties and that it is a cast aluminum machine. The second debate was who made it, because there were a lot of machines being private branded back then, and this is one of them. And the same company that made the So Handy type kids machines also made this machine as well, and that was the Standard Sewing Machine Company. And not a lot is known about the Standard Sewing Machine Company, so I'm going to real quick, as we come out on the shot a little bit, kind of show off the guys again. The guys that stole the captain's boat? Really? You guys look like you're having a lot of fun out there, seriously. No, I'm not making light of it, Captain. I'm not making light of it at all. I know you were upset, but the guys didn't hurt your boat. Well, they ran into that rock one time, but I don't think there was any damage to your boat, so I think you're okay. But the captain remembers when Mary won that other major contest, and he was bummed out there was only one entry for the contest that was based in Norway and Sweden, and so he very thoughtfully went out and found this machine for Mary, which is, I think, fabulous. Again, she's into teaching people about machines, and I don't know if she has a chain stitch machine or not. Hold on a second, I gotta access my phone. Oh, there we go. It's open. All right, let's check. History of the Standard Sewing Machine Company.
According to Once Upon a Time, WordPress.com, the Standard Sewing Machine Company was located in Cleveland, Ohio, and began manufacturing sewing machines in 1884.
Yeah, and they were one of the manufacturers in a time period when there was so much controversy among some of the major sewing machine manufacturing companies. There were lawsuits going back and forth as there was debate over the patents and other rights to the machines like that, and there were fights going on between Singer, Wheeler and Wilson, and Grover and Baker. And they were all in a contentious battle, which kind of opened up the opportunity for other companies like the Standard Sewing Machine Company, again based out of Cleveland, Ohio, to kind of step into the space and do something a little bit different. Everyone else was focused on half-size machines like the featherweight, and three-quarter size machines and full-size machines. And Standard stepped in and said, well, we're going to focus on toy machines like this Betsy Ross. And obviously U.S. made, so there wasn't any debate or controversy over the manufacturing origin of the machine either, which was kind of neat. And they picked the name Betsy Ross in particular. Right away when you hear the name Betsy Ross, you think of obviously the flag that she was said to have helped George Washington finish and sew the stars on, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people don't know about Betsy Ross beyond that. Some lady that sewed stars on might have had contact with George Washington. But if we use a similar search to try to find out about Betsy Ross, I think we'll hear some pretty interesting stuff, like about her upholstery background. Oops, I was talking and hold on a second. History of Betsy Ross. Not telling us a thing. Okay, let me try this. Who was Betsy Ross? Okay, so normally it will speak, which I think is kind of neat to do, but I'll have to speak for it. So Betsy Ross was not her real name. And those of you that are students of history know that her real name was Elizabeth Griscom. And her kind of one of those hyphenated names, Griscom Ross, was kind of her full name, if you will. And she was married 3 times. Born right around January 1st, 1752, and died January 30th, 1836, out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And her husband's, let's see, John, she must have liked J's, John Joseph, honest to Pete. Her husband's name all started with J. Who knew that? We kind of look at my phone here. John Joseph, and again, John Ross, from 1773 to 1776. So among her talents, working as an upholsterer, she was also gainfully involved in finding a new husband, apparently. First got married in 1783, and then finally her last husband passed away in 1776, which is kind of cool. So, but her talent was really in the realm of upholstery. Yeah, here it is. I was trying to find it on this search, holding the camera with one hand. So yeah, she worked as a tailor, she worked as an upholsterer, a designer, and also some people attribute being a seamstress to her as well. And back then, obviously, the American flag looked a lot different than it does now. It had only 13 stars because of the 13 colonies. And what else do they tell me here that's interesting about her? Yeah, there was also a flag made after her as well, which is kind of cool. There was a flag, a Betsy Ross flag. And you can Google that and post something in the chat if you want, just to share with the rest of us again about what that flag is all about and what it looks like. Yeah. So at any rate, yeah, I'll get back on track. I just kind of got sidetracked. I wanted to look a little bit at the history of the Standard Sewing Machine Company and this machine in particular that the captain found. And then since it's named Betsy Ross, we had to look at that a little bit to find out a little bit more about Betsy Ross and her fame as far as being involved with sewing the first American flag, etc. So, yeah, I'll throw this down to the side and we'll focus back on this really cool machine, which if you can't see in the shot, because I know we have the sun kind of coming at us a little bit, is almost kind of it's almost kind of a metallic green color. And I just think it's a spectacular design in this machine. It has it almost has a look of statesmanship, classiness, and it's just really just a classy, fancy looking machine that I think Mary will really have fun adding to her collection. And so, at any rate, I want to thank the captain again for coming up with this. Very thoughtful. Most people don't think pirates are very thoughtful. They might not even think that steamboat captains are very thoughtful, but you have shown clearly that you're a very thoughtful guy. You're tough, but you're thoughtful too. And don't hold any grudge against the guys for stealing your boat. They were just doing a little bit of joyriding. It's kind of what people do sometimes when they get bored. So I'm going to have to give these guys more work to do so that they're not as bored, right? Right, Mr. Bean? Herr Obermeister? So you guys are going to get a little bit higher workload now so that you don't have as much idle time to get into mischief by stealing the captain's boat. Especially when he did such a nice thing, like came up with this Betsy Ross electric version to give to Mary Kline as a consolation prize for her writing that last great piece for the contest that was based in Norway and in Sweden. So Mary, if you happen to be watching this premiere, this machine is going to get packed up quite soon and get shipped to you so that you can add it to your collection along with the 1885 12K hand crank that you won from the previous contest. But I'm really glad that the captain did this. We were having some discussion about it at one of our early morning meetings. And I was saying, boy, it's a shame that contest didn't have a declared winner and that Mary went to all that effort to write that really cool writing piece and didn't win anything as a result of it. So I guess the captain was just kind of tuned into that conversation and decided to do something about it. We always talk about in the workshop about action, don't we? Taking action, not just contemplating things, but doing something about it. And the captain did that in this case. So I think that's really way cool that he was able to come up with such a neat machine like this as a consolation prize for Mary Kline, writing such a great piece for the last contest that was based in Sweden and in Norway. And if you haven't read her piece yet, you really should. Like her other piece for the other contest that was based in Kissimmee, Florida, which is how the captain finally, kind of got into the mix of things. He was off on his own, buzzing around in his boat, displaying his cool, piratey flag. And now he's part of our team and even added to his flag, added a vintage sewing machine to the top of his flag post, or his flag pole, or whatever you'd call it, his mast. So he's really part of the team now, and wanted to demonstrate that again, by coming up with this really awesome machine for Mary Kline. So, anyway, I know I'm kind of rambling. I'm just totally taken aback. Number one, I'm driving down the causeway, and I get a call, from him that he's in some sort of distress. Go down there, and I find him with this machine, and then I find that the boys have basically boat jacked his boat and taken it out on the breakwater, which is open water, people. I mean, there's big boats that won't even go onto this water because it can get pretty rough out there. And these guys are just buzzing around, just going, we're just having a good old time with the captain's boat. And, well, thank you, Captain. It's very big of you. The captain just said, I forgive them. But there may be payback. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good. So, all right. Well, I'm going to wrap up this premiere, and I'll wrap it up with a quote. And that is, the greatest prize in life is working hard at work worth doing. And once we leave the breakwater here in this causeway and we head back to the workshop, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be enjoying that prize of work that is worth doing as we finalize a number of different machines. We've got 332s, and we've got a 130-6 as well that we're finalizing, and we're going to be premiering those machines as well real soon, and presenting those to all of you. So keep watch for those premieres also. And you never know, we might have another impromptu premiere like this where all of a sudden something unexpected happens. I get a call, or the captain decides to do something, or Mr. Bean, or Herr Obermeister, or Dr. Singer, and all of a sudden we're on another adventure like this, where we never know exactly where we're going to find ourselves. So, a fabulous find, Captain. Glad you guys are okay. Glad you didn't totally destroy the captain's boat out on the open water, for goodness sakes. I'm having to put down the window on the car just to be amazed that you guys were out there. You were out there on that open water just buzzing around. Talk about adventurous. You guys are a hoot. All right, well, Mary, watch for this soon enough. I don't know if I'll have time to actually premiere it, because I know it is a working machine, but I'll see if I may be able to do a quick stitch off of it for you. But a fabulous machine again from the 1950s. Also a hand crank version of this as well, made by the Standard Sewing Machine Company out of Ohio. And this will be a great thing for you to, I know you're really into teaching, Mary. You love to help people appreciate the transitions from different phases of the machines that were made over the ages. And this being a machine from the 1950s, you'll really have a lot of fun, I think, teaching people about the chain stitch machines, and just how significant they were in the evolution and the development eventually of the lock stitch machines that we enjoy now. So, all right, I'm signing off, showing you a quick little shot again of Mary Kline's fabulous electrified Betsy Ross machine made back in the 1950s. Again, it sold new back in the 1950s for right around 22, 23 bucks. You're definitely not going to find it for that price now. I don't know what the captain paid for it, but I'll probably get an invoice from him so he can get reimbursed, which I'm glad to do, because again, I think that was an incredibly thoughtful thing to do. You guys should learn from the captain. He used to be a ruthless pirate, and now look at him. Now look at him. Such a thoughtful guy. Such a thoughtful gentleman. All right. Well, God bless you guys, and stay tuned for other great premieres like this, where you never know when that camera starts rolling where you're going to find us. And yes, it's really me. See? Wait, am I there? Yeah. I think I'm there. All right. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye, Captain. Bye, Mr. Bean. Bye, Herr Obermeister.